Welcome to the Art Lady's home. Today I'm going to show you how to make these hollyhock flowers, and what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to be placing them on a garden pole. So I've made some holes in the back here so that I can string some wire through, and then they will be situated on the pole like so, going up the pole and gradually getting smaller with some buds at the top. And I'll show you what the pole looks like. This came in a 4-pack. I think I got it at Aldi's for like $5. And so I'm just going to string some wire through that hole and then attach it to the pole. And then it's going to be a beautiful hollyhock plant. So the first thing we're going to do is I took some clay, and this is about an inch and a half ball of clay, and then I have a smaller one here, which is basically the size of the tip of your finger here, the first digit or digit and a half of the pinky finger. So I'm going to just roll these quick with my palm of my hand. Just roll it into a small ball. I'm not making it perfect because I don't want to dry out this clay. Now I'm going to take them and I'm going to roll them smooth now. I'm going to put a little bit of water here on it and just roll them smooth. Then I'm going to take the palm of my hand. I'm just going to moisten my hand up a little bit. And I'm going to press this in and twist my hand like so that I can get kind of a patty. And I'm going to press it. And I'm pressing the thick part of my thumb here, the pad of my thumb, into the concave of my hand. So what it's doing is it's making it thinner on the edges, and I'm stretching this bigger. But I want to keep it in that concave shape. So as I'm doing this, I'm pulling, I'm twisting my palm and pulling like so. So it's bigger. And now I'm pressing the edges thin. And as you press your edges thin, you'll kind of see it's not really a perfect circle, which is good. I'm going to find the pointiest end, and that's going to be, I'm just going to push my thumb in and kind of wrap this around here, and that's going to form the center of the flower here. So that's where it's going to come up like that. And then this is the outer edge of the petal. So I'm just going to put that aside, and I'm going to do the same thing right here. So rolling it, then pressing in. Then I'm going to find which one looks the pointiest. I'm going to just put it down this way here. And then lightly pressing the edges. Now, when I'm pressing my edges, I'm not making it really thin. So I don't want it to be floppy. So I'm going to just press these edges like so. And I'm doing it even. I don't want to see fingerprints. So you can even pull like this, so you can pull out some of your fingerprints. So this is a little bit thicker here. This is for the garden, so I don't want it to be too flimsy and delicate. So it's a nice kind of thickness here. You don't want it to be floppy. And I'm pressing out this evenly. It's important to keep your edges not really super thin and floppy, because they're just going to break. Press. Oops. So you want them to be a little sturdy. Press your patty down. And by just pressing real hard like that with the palm of your hand, it's forming that concave little dish. See in here how it takes up your palm. And then decide which area you want down. I think I'm going to take, I kind of want the wider, so I'm going to do it like this. I want this to be wider at the top. So now I'm just going to press out this. And I'm kind of bending it for the petal coming out like that. Now I'm going to put them together. So I'm going to take this one, and then I want them to overlap. I don't want them to be like that. So I'm going to overlap it. So here's the point. Take the other one, give it a little pinch down here. Then they're going to the pinch part comes together at the bottom. So the 2 pinches. So I'm going to kind of push it in. So this came inside here. Let me show you that again. Here's my pinched one. Here's the pinched one. And so I'm just going to put them together so they overlap. And then I pinched it down at the bottom. Now I'm going to put the next one on. Let me turn it this way if I can show you how the other one goes. So then this one I pinched over this one. Here's the bottom one. So then here's the back of this. This goes on. And there's 3 of them. They overlap. Now in the back, I'm going to simply pinch the clay together a little bit here. Just bringing my finger, and it blends the clay in. I'm trying to make it so that it becomes one piece. Now I'm supporting it on the inside. Now I want to tap this pretty good. By tapping it, I'm kind of forcing the molecules together, and it's going to join. They're joining better. Okay, so I forced the molecules, they're together. And then here on the inside, I'm going to take the back of my finger. You can even use a tool. Now I want to blend in a little bit in here, just to get rid of those cracks, because then we're going to make a little center. I'm going to put a little bit of slip on the inside, right in here, which is liquid clay. Slip acts like a glue for clay. I'm going to scruff it up a little bit. Then I'm going to add just a pinch of clay in here. Kind of tap it in, because it was a little bit of a hole. Just tap the pinch in. Now I'm going to form the center of the piece with a pinch of clay. It's the size of about a thumbnail. So I'm going to just roll it quick into a ball and then roll it back into a log. And I'm going to press the bottom down flat. I'm going to scratch up the bottom here a little bit and add some slip. And then I'm going to press this in. I'm going to scratch this up a little bit here too on the inside. And then I'm going to press it down and give it a little twist. And then I'm going to blend the edges right in here. By using the tool, I'm basically smushing the edge together so there's no seam, so that the 2 pieces are bonding together. You can use your finger too if you could reach it, but with small things it's nicer to use a tool. Then I just take a paintbrush and I smooth it out with the paintbrush right in here. Now I want to add some detail in here. I'm going to shape up these a little bit too. I'm going to, by pressing the edges and molding the edges, I'll show you on this one here. You don't want it to be flat like that. Here you can see how the edges are rippled, more like a natural hollyhock. So to do that, what I'm going to do is just like, I'm going to press it in a little bit so I can bend it this way, just like you're creating like a pie shell. So I'm supporting with 2 fingers in the back, like these two are being supported in the back. And then I pinch this down. So it forms a little bit of a ripple. Just like you would when you make a pie, you add little ripples. And even what I just did here, I just simply took this and pinched this in and down. And that gave a nice dramatic ripple here. And now I'm twisting this one back. And then if you see any fingerprints, smooth them out. You don't want the fingerprint to show. You don't want it to obviously look like you made some ripples. And then I'm just going to do the same here too. I'm going to cup this too. I bent this in. I kind of like this look of bending in. When I bent it in, it gave a nice little ripple. And I'm going to do this too. And when you get your edges really nice the way you like, then what you can do is you can take and add some texture here. Simply drawing the lines up and radiating out. You don't want it to be all straight lines. These are just going to radiate out one way. Basically just draw in the lines. Even some on the edges too. If you want to add a little on the edge. Up and in. And then I'm going to add some texture on the inside here. So to add the texture, I'm using this little hook tool. And I'm just pressing in. And this is the center part of it. And you can play around with it until you get it the way you like it. Just by popping it in, like so. This is the stamens and the pistils and the pollen, where all the pollen is, and all the reproductive parts of the flower in here. So it has a rough texture. And then I just kind of lightly press it in, any loose ends and loose clay. Now I clean up everything with a paintbrush. So I take just some nice clear water in here, and any of the crumbs I brush away. Fix the holes, any holes. Any fingerprints or whatnot. Add a little water to the edge. If it's any cracks, fill it in. And smooth out all the little lines you drew. And when you're happy with it, what I do is I just flip it over. I blend in any of this in the back. Give it a little tap. And now I'm going to put a hole through this back. Let me show you on this one here. That way I can support it with some wire. So I'm going to first start small and I do a little twist. Then I go on this side, do a little twist, and then I just take the paintbrush end and twist it through here. And then any of the areas that have crumbs I get rid of. And then I smooth out all this. Now I'm going to let it dry a little bit so it's not so wet. Here's the back. And then that's when it's a little bit drier, I can clean up more of this so it's not so delicate. So let me go ahead and show you how I clean these up. Same process. You take your paintbrush here and just smooth out any of the areas. If you want to leave the cracky areas, you can, but I just like it just a little bit smoother. Any of the extra bumps, but it helps if it's a little bit dry so that you're not crushing the whole thing as you're working. And there is the beautiful hollyhocks that are going to go on a hollyhock pole in the garden. Here is the hollyhocks assembled on the pole, and I haven't fired them yet, and obviously they haven't been painted, but I just wanted to give you the gist of what it looked like. And I made a few little slab leaves, and then I did a few little buds, and then I made the topper, just kind of a mini pinch pot thing to fit on the pole. Of course, you make it a little bit bigger because of shrinkage, but I kind of like the idea. I really think that's going to be beautiful once it's painted. And the hollyhocks, a real hollyhock obviously doesn't have 3 petals, it has more. And I believe they have 5 petals, but it's just kind of a symbol of the hollyhock. And so when you're at a distance, you'll be able to just, I mean, it'll read hollyhock, but it's not a realistic hollyhock. Let me see if I can show you here. You really can't tell exactly how many petals are in here anyways, because they all kind of converge together in almost like a cone shape. But that's gonna be my hollyhock stake. So I'm gonna stick it here in the edge of this little mini wildflower garden that I had made. And so it'll be some nice tall color in the front. The only thing is it's gonna be a little lonely, so I may have to make 2 more to have a grouping of 3.